Diaz Boxing Hussein over here with Tarik Zaina. Hey, thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. What can I say? You already passed the test. Weigh in and everything. How you feeling right now?
I'm chilled out, relaxed, just drinking my English breakfast tea right now. Hanging out with my friend Conorman. That's it. Nothing much really.
Hey, it's amazing. That you guys gonna perform at MSG tomorrow. Tell us, for the fight fans, how we expect it, from you in this fight.
I mean, look, for me, it's just another fight. It's no different than any fight I've been in, and no different than any spar I've been in. It's just another day in the office. I'm gonna go in there and do my thing. Like I said, I don't want to say too much, other than it's going to be an exciting fight. Just make sure you tune in. It's going to be good. Yeah, that's it really, man. I'm fully relaxed, laid back, ready to go to war tomorrow.
That's a great thing that you eventually, right now, you mentioned you relax, you having a little bit of fun, staying peaceful right now. Focus, I bet you, and this upcoming fight. And talking about this fight, I seen over your Instagram that you have met, some of the, big names in the sports, like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Marquez, and so many, famous, champions and all of that. Any advice that you share, with or Julio Cesar Chavez share with you, in order that you pursue greatness in your career?
Luckily, he watched one of my fights, and so did Marquez. Both of them, when they watched me, I actually came out with the victory. In terms of advice, not really. They didn't really tell me much other than just keep going, man. Keep chasing your dreams. Keep going for whatever it is you wish to go for. And you'll achieve it as long as you stay consistent. That was the best advice they could have given me. Every champion has done that, and it's worked out. So that's all I'm gonna do, really.
Hey, what can I say? Great excitement to see Chavez, Marquez, because eventually a lot of people would love to have at least a picture with them, or like you mentioned, an advice and all of that. You were just saying that you're training out of Tijuana. How is the environment there? How it's tell us about the difference. Being there and of course being in the U.S.
Have you ever been on a hike?
Yes.
Okay, what sort of hike? A few hours or a few days?
Oh, my man, Mexico, I can tell you that that's a different type of weather. It's hot. Over
Tropical,
here, I
right?
bet you that this is nothing like comparing Tijuana and other states,
Well, the best way to describe what Tijuana is like when it comes to boxing is like a jungle. It's war. It's survival of the fittest, survival of the best. It's not like America. It's not like England. It's not like anywhere I've been, to be honest with you. When it comes to sparring, they don't ask any questions. They don't care who you are, what you've done, anything. They don't even want to know your name. They just want to go in there and rip your head off your shoulders. And what can I say? It taught me a lot. The Mexican people in general are warriors by nature, and especially the boxing capitals of Mexico, which is Tijuana, Sinaloa, Mexico City, Guadalajara. It's full of killers, full of warriors, and I wouldn't change it for a thing training out there, man. It's the best thing ever,
Exactly. I mean, the camp, I bet you that it been rough there. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody over here in the U.S., but when it comes to weather, when it comes to, run, hills and all of that, it's a different thing, being there and being here.
Different ball game. Put it this way. America, again, it's the leading country in boxing. I mean, how dare I say anything? The greatest fighters fight out of the United States of America. But it's just the vibe, the energy, the facilities. Obviously, the facilities are not up to the standards of, Robert Garcia camp, Joel Diaz camp, the Bud Crawford camp. But, realistically, when you look at all the great champions, they all came from humble beginnings. All you need is what? Punching bag, a ring, speedball, a skipping rope, and that's it, man. And, in Tijuana, you get to see that reality where people really make something out of nothing. And it just humbles you, man, and it makes you realize, you don't need much to be a great fighter, man. You just need to know how to fight and beat the shit out of the guy in front of you, and that's it, man. That's why, this is just another fight. Delante Johnson, or not Delante Johnson, is the same, a man like myself, 2 arms, 2 legs, lips, mouth, hair, eyes, it's nothing different. So You know, that's it really.
Great excitement to hear, you experience that being in Mexico. It's something that, eventually, it's part of your career. And I think you will do great because in order that, your performance and all of that, with all due respect to your opponent, I know it's a different atmosphere there. I know, it's rough, like you just mentioned, there, they don't care about probably.
Exactly. Not that. Honestly, my friend here can is my witness. Whenever someone away comes to our gym or we go away to spar, they never ask your name, they never ask your record, they never ask your weight. They couldn't care less. They just like, oh, you're sparring. Oh, you look the same size as him. Put on some gloves, put on a head guard, put on sometimes no groin guard, and you go in there and fight, man. And he can tell you. They even have a communal mouth guard in the gym. So if you come and you forgot your mouth guard, they have one for you. That is not even molded. It's just a mouth guard that people use who forget their mouth guard. I mean, just think of that. Like they really don't care, which is a power in itself. Because sometimes in life we tend to overthink everything, and life is very simple, man. Just have faith, do your thing, and everything's gonna work out.
It's exactly, and I know, for all this experience that you've been living, you applying all of that in order to pursue greatness, in order to push forward, your career, and I bet you're doing, the right thing. What makes you to choose, the camp or being in Tijuana, Mexico, in order to have, always your training sessions and everything there?
Well, in the beginning, I was stationed in the UK, in Leeds, which is a very good boxing city, but then the pandemic hit and everything shut down, and then I was just doing a bit of research as to where I can go, and Mexico was an option. It was open, and the plan was to come for 6 months, have a handful of fights, and fly back to the UK to continue my career. But then a few months in my time in Tijuana, I really enjoyed it, man, and it was great, and I was learning so much, so fast. And I just thought, well, let me extend for another 6 months. And I've been extending for the last 3 years.
Oh wow! You definitely, you now became like a Mexican, in a heritage. In order that,
100%.
Eventually you started, getting to know, people. And even though, out of the camera you were talking to me in Spanish, and we were gonna say something in Spanish in a few. Where does it come from? The nickname El Camello, the camel. Where does it, Can you tell the fight fans and everyone?
As you know, my original ethnicity is Moroccan. And obviously Morocco, we have the Sahara Desert. And I actually did a DNA test. And my origin came back from the desert, like close to the desert of Morocco. So obviously in the gym, they used to call me pinche árabe, but then they were like, oh, okay, hay camellos ahí, no? And I was like, yeah, we have a lot of them. Pues, tú vas a ser el camello. And they just came up with the nickname. And my friend here, he came up with an amazing logo to match the nickname, and it was that's it, man. It made sense, innit? It was like I'm Moroccan ethnicity. I'm close to the desert. There's plenty of camels. I have an extra tank of oxygen anyway, as a fighter. So I thought, man, that's perfect, innit? It just makes complete sense.
Wow, that's amazing. That this, nickname, applies in your, with all due respect to you, to yourself, and everything like that.
It
I
does.
know, the Mexican people, other, ethnicities, sometimes, they be joking around with nicknames. But in
it.
yourself, it was something that you was liked it, and then you said, I'm gonna use it for.
I love it. It's amazing. And the camel is an amazing animal. They drink a ton of water at once, and then they don't drink for hours, and they can walk for days upon end. On the heat of the desert. It's such an amazing animal. You should look into it. They're really cool animals, and they live like, I don't know how long, but they live a long time.
I'm willing one day, that's one of my wishes, to travel, there and experience, this type of heat, because eventually, like I just mentioned, Mexico is a different weather, and I know in your area, in your country, it's a different weather as well.
Yes,
and I'm pretty sure, you're proud of both of them, and I gotta, take my hat right in front of you and say, wish you nothing but the best. I can't leave you without asking this question. Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, now they're switching on boxing. What's your thoughts on it? I mean, two great champions, two great warriors. Now we're gonna see them in boxing. What's your thoughts? That they're switching.
They're both good fighters, or used to be good fighters in UFC. I don't know how good they are in terms of boxing skills, but I'm definitely going to tune in. You know, it brings more eyes to the sport of boxing, especially with everything going on in Saudi. You know, you have a couple of UFC legends going at it. I mean, I don't know how much boxing skill is going to be involved in that fight, but it's all good. I'm in it for the antics, for the drama. Nate Diaz is a bad man. I like him. I like his vibe. I like his character. Masvidal, you know, was a legend in his own regard in the UFC. So it should be a good fight, a good scrap. And yeah, it gets eyes to the sport, man. So it's good, you know. I'm all for it, yeah.
Hey, looking forward to see what outcome it's gonna be, you know, from this fight and eventually your fight as well. Because let's say, you know, with all due respect to your opponent, of course yourself as well, whoever wins this fight, you know, it has the opportunity to face one of the people that they're ahead in your weight class division. If it comes out, you know, the win for you, who would you like to, you know, target next?
I mean, look, in my line of thought, I never think what's next. I think of what's in front of me right now. And in front of me right now is the Kitten Tiger Johnson. Oh, sorry, the Tiger, Delante Johnson. I called him Kitten accidentally there. But, you know, that's all I'm thinking about right now. So, you know, all that questions of what's next, you can ask me after the fight. But as of right now, I'm just thinking about him and him only. Yeah, that's the task at hand. Why worry about the future when we have the present?
Exactly.
And that's it.
Great thing, and eventually, you know, I wish you nothing but the best, including for your fighter as well. Always from my behalf, you know, I wish you both of them come up safety, regardless who wins or who loses. You know, to me, you know, it's important, you know, that both of you guys, excuse me, come up safety from the ring and go back to your families and start doing, you know, what you guys love the best, boxing.
Yes,
Any message that you would like to send the fight fans and everyone, and of course, say in English first and then in Spanish for your people right there in Tijuana that they supporting you. I bet you that they do.
I wanna just thank everyone who has followed me so far from any part of the world, because I always consider myself a citizen of the world. I know many people from all around the globe, so I want to thank everyone and encourage everyone to tune in on the fight on Saturday. It should be good. And claro que sí, viva Tijuana. Soy tijuanense, llevo mucho tiempo ahí, todos me conocen, yo le conozco a todos y voy a representar con todo Tijuana este sábado.
There you go, gracias. Y pues si quieres agregar you want to add it another, you know, saying another things in different language, Arabic you just mentioned.
Well, obviously I'm Moroccan, so you know المغاربة ديالنا الدراري ديالنا كاملين اللي عايز يتفرجوا فيا تفرجوا نهار السبت ان شاء الله عنوكلوا الضغط ندخلنا هذا وان شاء الله ما يكون على الخير.
There you go, thank you. Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us a camello, the camel with us. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. Thank you.